Dollar eases from near two-decade peak as Jackson Hole looms Tokyo. The US dollar edged back from a near two-decade peak in opposition to a basket of major currencies on Thursday as investors awaited a speech via Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell the next day for clean clues at the path for financial coverage. Gains for Australia's dollar, a liquid proxy for buying and selling China's monetary outlook, outpaced developed market friends as it tracked a more potent yuan. The South Korean won rose after the critical financial institution raised its inflation forecast, pointing to in addition policy tightening ahead. The US dollar index, which measures the dollar towards six opposite numbers, eased 0.19% to 108.42, however remained now not a ways from its maximum for the reason that September 2002 at 109.29, touched in mid-July. Investors had been bracing for the Fed to double down on its commitment to crushing inflation at its annual accumulating in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Money markets have paired lower back expectancies that the U.S. critical financial institution should tilt to a slower tempo of charge hikes following a refrain of hawkish Fed remark in recent weeks, and currently lay 58.5% odds on every other supersized 75 basis point fee hike next month as opposed to 41.5% probability of a half-point growth. Expectations of a hawkish message from FOMC Chair Powell at Jackson Hole will possibly maintain upward stress at the USD, Commonwealth Bank of Australia (OTC), CMWAY analyst Christina Clifton wrote in a client Be Aware. However, there is a hazard that the speech is deemed not hawkish sufficient and that we see some retracement inside the USD. The dollar retreated 0.25% to 136.78 yen, from this week's one-month excessive of 137.705. The euro edged 0.18% better to $0.99865, after sliding to a 20-year low of $0.99005 on Tuesday. The single currency has been hurt with the aid of boom worries as the location faces an electricity disaster, with investors on part before Russia halts fuel materials via the main Nord Stream 1 pipeline for 3 days from Wednesday for unscheduled upkeep. Sterling received 0.2% to $1.1815, after dipping to the bottom for the reason that March 2020 on Tuesday at $1.1718. The Australian dollar rallied 0.59% to $0.69475, up from a greater than 1 month low of $0.6856 earlier inside the week. That's as China's yuan rebounded from a 2-year low, helped through firmer than expected legit steering, which investors took as a signal authorities have become more and more uncomfortable with rapid losses in the forex. In terms of the sharp AUD leap nowadays, an obvious catalyst appears to be the soar in CNH on the more potent than anticipated solving, said Sean Callow, a strategist at Westpac in Sydney. The effective equity mood in a good deal of the place does assist the Aussie in the heritage. New Zealand's Kiwi lagged its Antipodean peer with a 0.35% rise to $0.6212, hampered by using information displaying a decline in neighborhood retail sales early within the consultation. It changed into at a 1-month low of $0.6157 on Monday. Against the Korean gained, the greenback misplaced 0.27% to at least 1,336.96 after the Bank of Korea raised costs via 1/4 point, as predicted, but also upgraded this year's inflation forecast to 5.2% from 4.5%, which would be the quickest price on account that 1998, and subsequent years to 3.7% from 2.9%.